Hey boys and girls, it's Mrs. Hernandez. I am just here to talk with you a little bit about the book that we're going to read together this week. It is about our former president, Barack Obama. And we are going to first preview the book and preview some vocabulary and also look for some of the nonfiction text features, and then you're going to have a chance to read it on your own because it is in Get Epic, and I've assigned it to each of you. So as long as you get into Get Epic and you can read it yourself, it will be in your files. Okay, so let's begin. All right, so in the beginning table of contents, we have Meet Barack Obama, A Hawaiian Beginning, Childhood, Obama's Cool Firsts, Community and College, Law School and Politics, Road to the Presidency, 8 Cool Facts, A Nation's Leader, Be a Quiz Whiz, and a glossary. So now you do have the option of having this read to you. However, I do not want you to have it read to you. I want you to read it to yourself. Okay, first we have our heading up here, Meet Barack Obama. Our headings are going to be on the side, and they kind of slanted it a little bit, so it looks a little different than some of the other headings we've seen. And here we have a picture of President Obama and his wife and their children. Something that some nonfiction books have are little facts or things that the subject has said. And in this particular book, it has some things that Obama has said in his words. He says, no matter what you are, no matter what you look like, no matter where you come from, here in America, you can make it if you try. So let's look at the next one. Here's our heading up here, Hawaiian Beginning, because he was born in Hawaii. This is a picture of him with his mother. Another interesting thing that this nonfiction book has is a little section called That's a Fact, and it tells you something that he liked. This is with his mother and half-sister and his stepfather, who was Indonesian, that his family had moved across the Pacific Ocean to Indonesia. That is a word you probably don't say very often. Indonesia is over in Asia. It would take you a little bit on an airplane if you were to go there. Okay, now let's look at the next section about his childhood. He talks about where he grew up. So he started growing up in Hawaii, then he was in Indonesia, and now he's back in Hawaii. And I'm going to show you this word right here. This is a little bit different word that you probably have not seen before because it is a Hawaiian word. So here we are right here, like right around here. Hawaii is way over here, right where that arrow is pointing. Okay, it is one of the 50 states, but it is pretty far away, and the people who originally lived there are the Hawaiian people, and they have their own language. So this word, punahou, is a Hawaiian word, and that's the name of the school he attended, Punahou. All right, and so this shows you a caption right here, the Punahou School in Hawaii. Also, something that this nonfiction book shows you is how to pronounce some more difficult words, like this word right here. It tells you by breaking it up and putting little dashes between it. Multiracial or multiracial. It says Hawaii had many multiracial families, but few African Americans. Okay, multiracial means people that whose parents come from different races. So in Hawaii, a lot of people, like the one parent will be Asian, another will be Caucasian or white, or maybe African American and Asian. And so, however, in Obama's time, not a lot of the kids there came from African American backgrounds. And here, they have a glossary in the back, but they also highlight some words that they think are important. Like this says, words to know, multiracial, having parents of more than one race, and racism, which is the belief that certain races are superior or better than others. This is him playing basketball. So we're going to learn about him and his father. His father was from a country called Kenya. Kenya is in Africa. I'm going to flip this back so you can see where Africa is. And here it highlights that. That's where his father was from, this country called Kenya. Indonesia is where he was living that I was pointing out before. And this is where we are right here. That's where this arrow is. And so he was born in Hawaii. Then he lived in Indonesia. Then he lived in Hawaii. At some point, he did go back and visit where his father's family was from in Kenya. All right, so moving on. That's a fact there. Another caption that goes along with the picture. Obama's father lived in Nairobi, Kenya. Nairobi is the capital of Kenya, just like Washington, D.C. is the capital of America. Oops, I want to make sure I didn't flip too many pages. Okay, so again, here's another heading, Obama's cool firsts. And this talks about all the different firsts that he experienced as during his life so far. And they also have some captions down here to describe some of the pictures, like this is the state flag of Hawaii. Here's his class photo while he was president of the Harvard Law Review. Yeah, he went to Harvard Law School, which is a very, very excellent law school in America. And here's another heading here for this section, community and college. So it's going to talk about what he did for his community, where he went to college, and I'm going to move on here. Okay, and then law school and politics. So it's going to talk about when he went to law school, and this is him as he was teaching, actually, at the University of Chicago. This word right here is pronounced Chicago. Remember I said that CH usually says the ch sound, but some of our words come from French. And so that CH pronunciation, like sh, is a French pronunciation. Again, some more words to know that we're going to learn about. Civil rights. Civil rights lawyer is a lawyer who makes sure people receive fair and equal treatment. Also senator, which is one kind of elected member of the United States government. We have senators from Georgia. Okay, and then the section is the road to the presidency. When we say the road to something, that means how long it took, or the way that somebody went to do something that they set out to do. So the road to the presidency isn't a literal road, but what it is talking about how did Obama become a president. Okay, so let's move on here. Okay, talks about when he won, and that was in 2008. And here's a neat way that they organized 8 cool facts, which you can go ahead and read to yourself a little bit later. And then finally, the nation's leader. This section, this heading is talking about what he did as he was president, things that happened. It talked about him addressing Congress. Congress are all the people who make laws for our country. You guys learned about the 3 branches of government in social studies, and this is part of that. This is the legislative branch. He's him at a job fair in New York City, or helping out with that. U.S. soldiers that were in Iraq. And then we have a timeline. Okay, that is a very common feature in nonfiction textbooks. So it starts at 1961 when he was born, and it talks about important parts of his life all the way, and it continues because there's a lot, all the way through 2012 when he won his second term as the U.S. president. The word term, oops, sorry, the word term is a word that they talk about back here, and that is a fixed or limited period of time. So a president may only be elected for 2 terms, and each term is 4 years. So if once a president is elected for 1 term, at the end of that, they must run for president again. If they are elected president again, like Obama was, then they get to serve for another 4 years. So altogether, Obama served for 8 years as president. Okay. Again, finishing our timeline, and then here you get to quiz yourself based on this multiple choice that's right here. And at the very end, this is a picture glossary. So these are all the words that they said were important throughout the book, and they have a picture of what they mean: a civil rights lawyer, a community organizer, racism, multiracial, a senator, and a term, what a term is. Now, when you're all done, I'm going to ask you to do the quiz. I'm not going to do it with you because otherwise you'll see all the answers. So I want you to do that. So, okay, now that we're done going over it, this is what you're going to do. You're going to go into Epic, and to get Epic, the directions for getting in there are on your teacher's homepage. And I'll also embed something in there so you can see how to get in. Once you get in, you're going to see that a book is assigned to you, and then you'll be able to look at it. Okay, so let me get out of this book real quick. Okay, friends, so I got out and I went into getepic.com, and I did that so you can see how to get in. Just as a review, you're going to come to a screen looks like this: students and educators, that's you. And then if you don't remember what my access code is, if it doesn't show up when you click it, you can just type it in. See how it says Mrs. Hernandez's class? Well, that's really your teacher as well. So it's MYT8034. That's the class code that you need. And you can just type it in, and you click go. And then once you're inside, you can find your name. So I'm just going to pull somebody from this group, okay? All right, so I'm going to go into Christian. Here's Christian. Yay! Okay, well, this will pop up. It should pop up right away. If it doesn't pop up right away here, then what you can do, I'm going to click out of this, is you can go to your mailbox. And here in your mailbox, you will see all the books that I have assigned you. I have a lot of books here assigned. Okay? And then you just click on it, and it starts. Again, do not let it read to you. Okay? You need to read it to yourself because you guys are independent readers. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you enjoy learning about Barack Obama.